What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. The Jets followed up maybe their best practice of training camp with maybe their worst practice of training camp. Now, it's not all bad. I do have some positives to share. We're going to go through everything that stood out. If you guys know, I like to keep it real. I'll talk about the things that happened that I thought were good. I'll talk about the things that happened that weren't so good. And we'll have some quotes from head coach Aaron Glenn at the end of the video. But it was the green and white scrimmage day or practice for the New York Jets. And it wasn't spectacular, especially for the starting offense. There were 12 penalties during practice today. 12. That's not an acceptable number. Now, the positive from this is that it happens August 2nd and not September 7th when the Jets open their season against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You want to work on these things now. So again, I'll spin the positive angle that you want to get this out of the way. You want to work on it, improve on it throughout the rest of the month of August and be good to go for the regular season. But that number has not been as high for penalties throughout any point during practice. Again, it's only the second week of camp, but at the same time, 12 is an ugly number. There was a time, too, where the Jets were setting up for a field goal. They took a penalty, backed it up. Nick Folk missed it. Like, that's something that would absolutely crush you in games. Cannot happen when it gets to the regular season. We have a quote from Aaron Glenn that we'll get to talking about penalties, which I thought was fair, but that was the main thing that we had to start today with, was talking about 12 penalties. Yuck. Justin Fields as a passer, not great. He ran the ball well. He absolutely had a good rushing day, but 2 of 10 in team drills. There were some drops mixed in as well, or there was a drop mixed in as well, so it could have been 3 of 10, but still not his best day when he was coming off what arguably was his best practice of training camp. And it kind of goes back to what I said yesterday, right? Like, it's not going to be linear growth. It's going to be a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit up, and a little bit down. And today was a down day, unfortunately, for the offense and specifically the quarterback in Justin Fields. Josh Reynolds and Xavier Gipson got banged up at practice today. Xavier Gipson dealing with a shoulder. Did not get an injury update on Josh Reynolds, but we know the Jets wide receiver room is a little bit thin, especially after Garrett Wilson. So need to stay healthy, but create some opportunities for the ball to get distributed to other places. In pass pro, the offensive line didn't really do all that great. It was a strong day for both Will McDonald and Michael Clemens. They both got a fair amount of pressure coming off the edge against the Jets' young tackles, Armand Membu and Olu Fashanu. Now, as I mentioned, that there were some positives. The positive spin there could be that, hey, Will McDonald and Michael Clemens had a good day. But let's hit on some other positives from camp today. Run game was pretty solid. Isaiah Davis filling in for Braylon Allen today. Looked good. Looked good last year. Had a couple of drops earlier in camp, but had a strong day today. Breece Hall's had a strong camp besides the fumble last Saturday. He was another one, and we have some praise of Breece Hall coming up later from the head coach as well. Quincy Williams flying around making plays. He's been playing out of his mind so far, looking like the guy that he was in 2023 for the New York Jets. Almost got home on a blitz against Justin Fields. If it was a game situation, would have crushed him like we saw against Kyler Murray last year, but obviously pulling up because you don't want to hit your own quarterback. Sauce Gardner was very strong in coverage today. He's had a good camp as well. No surprise there. Sauce playing very well after the contract. First Stone Smart appearance really of the summer, a 2-touchdown day. He's been relatively quiet through the first week and a half or 2 weeks of practice. And now today was kind of the first time we got to see him on display as a pass catcher, reeling in a couple touchdowns. Let's get to the quotes. Here's Aaron Glenn on the injuries.
When it comes to the injuries today, X has a shoulder, Boyd has a shoulder, and Jalen Simpson has a hamstring. And I know more as I go in and those guys get checked out.
As I mentioned, Xavier Gipson, shoulder, nothing on Josh Reynolds, a couple other injuries like special teamer banged up. That's camp. It's going to happen. It doesn't seem like the Jets are concerned with any of these injuries yet. We'll keep an eye on those as we continue to go out through the month of August. Talked about the penalties at the top. Here's Aaron Glenn on those penalties.
But there's a lot of things that we got to clean up. The one thing that I'm sure that everybody saw were the penalties. So I'm glad we had the refs out there, because that's one thing that we want to hit. We want to make sure we hit those hard. And I want them to ref it just like it was a game. And I thought they did a good job of that. And there's no excuses. All right, our players understand that because we know penalties. They're discipline issues, and we got to make sure that we are more disciplined in that aspect on both sides of the ball. So and we will get those cleaned up.
Not making any excuses. It is something that they want to clean up, and that's, in his mind, the reason why they have the referees here. You want to call it, like he says, call it like you would in a game. See what those issues are with some of the holding calls. That could be technique. Work on it through the rest of the month. Get right for the regular season. Aaron Glenn also spoke on some plans for Breece Hall, which will excite Jet fans.
I mean, you have, like, the skill set is different for the most part. And when a defense have to be able to plan for those skill sets, that's kind of hard because you could do a lot with Breece. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to open this game up quite a bit. And I've said this before, he's the type of guy that you can split out wide and let him run the route tree because he can run it like a receiver. And I like that matchup with him against a safety or a linebacker, too. With Braylon, man, you just pound it. I mean, he's a 240-pound man that's going to be hard to bring down. So that's two different dynamics that you have to get ready for when it comes to a defense getting ready to play against those guys. So
Breece Hall lining up wide. What a concept. Yes, he is very good as a pass catcher. Should be utilized a significant amount as a pass catcher this year for the New York Jets. Love to see that. I think that's a smart thing to do. Have both him and Braylon Allen on the field. Keep making your offense creative. That's got to be the goal. All right, that'll do it for me in this one, fellas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe here if you're new, and I'll catch you next time.